Get ready, guys. Netflix's Drive to Survive is just around the corner. We could not be more excited because this time around, we're also going to see a racer that we haven't seen much of in this series. Yeah, you know exactly who we're talking about. In this video, we're going to talk about how Max Verstappen will be seen in the show, so make sure to stay until the end to learn all about it. First and foremost, Max comes to the show after criticism. So here's what's happening. Max Verstappen has confirmed that he's been giving interviews for Netflix's Drive to Survive Season 5. Drive to Survive is a mouthful, isn't it? From this point onwards, let's just call it DTS. Anyway, DTS is coming back, and we're gonna see Max. How exciting is that? And it really wouldn't have been a good season if it didn't have the Dutchman in it. Because really, think about it. He won this season. How could they make a documentary on a sport without having its champion in it? Originally, Max never interviewed. He was boycotting the show because he felt that they twisted words and footage to make rivalries look a lot dirtier than they actually were. We think the whole thing between him and Ricciardo in Season 1 is what made him realize this. And we'll admit it too, as much as we like the show, it did dramatize some of the things. This show has been essential in achieving Liberty Media's goal of expansion of the sport. F1 has now exploded all around the world, and it's joined the ranks of sports like soccer and basketball. Of course, it's still not as popular, but it definitely is a global phenomenon now. It's becoming an important part of our pop culture, to the point where Brad Pitt is even making a movie about the whole thing, and Lewis is consulting on that project. Before DTS, F1 wasn't as well known as it is today, especially in the United States. So having someone like Max not being on the show was a little off, considering that he's literally one of the best drivers we've seen. Next up, why didn't Max go on the show before? So, as we've already established, the docuseries has been essential to the sport's popularity. It catapulted into a giant. However, the series isn't without any criticism. Many folks aren't really appreciating the over-dramatization of certain instances. Verstappen himself hasn't been happy about all of this. He even stated that he wouldn't be involved in the making of Season 4 when it was being shot. And even this time around, he first imposed some conditions, and when they were accepted, he decided to be a part of the whole thing. So we really won't be seeing any drama from his side. Interviewers will probably not be asking him controversial questions. During 2021, when Season 4 was being shot, Max stated that he was refusing to take part in the series. He claimed that while it's important to boost popularity in the United States, as a driver, he's not really comfortable with everything that's been going on. He stated that the makers of the series faked rivalries that don't even exist, and that's exactly why he decided to not give any interviews. He did this because he doesn't want the filmmakers to take his words out of context for the sake of drama. He even stated that he's not a dramatic person and he just wants to see facts being presented. He also claimed that he wants to see real things happening, not fake things for the sake of views. We can't say his criticism wasn't valid though, but all in all, we're happy to see him make his way back to the series. This was his year, so it's going to be nice to see him around. Up next, the storyline. In Season 4, DTS was able to work without Verstappen. It was a season that had a bitter rivalry between Lewis and Verstappen. It happened to be one of the closest seasons we've ever seen. However, the makers of the series were smart about it. Instead of focusing on Lewis and Max, they decided to focus on the rivalry between the Mercedes boss Toto Wolff and the Red Bull boss Christian Horner. That in itself was also really interesting to see, to be honest. So it's not like we're complaining. It really showed the inner workings of teams and how they handle rivalries. Because at the end of the day, the driver's just gonna drive. But it's what the team bosses do that matters the most. So despite not having the 25-year-old feature on the season, they managed to still squeeze out a bit of drama. However, this time around, they didn't have anything to focus on. The championship battle was clear from the middle of the season, after a few too many mess-ups by Ferrari. So not having Max would have really made the whole thing quite bland. So this time, the producers have gone out of their way to ensure the Dutchman will be in the show. But even without him, they do have content. Seb's retirement, the whole Oscar Piastri situation, and of course Ferrari's internal struggles. Then we also have the battle for the king of the midfield that's always exciting to see. In fact, DTS gave this battle some life. Now people really care about all the other teams as well. Let's hope this season is as exciting as we expect it to be. Now for the green light. Max has finally given the green light to the DTS crew to let them film him. Recently, in an interview with GQ, he told them that he just returned from a filming session discussion with the DTS crew. Talking to GQ, Max stated, "It's just good to understand what we both want from each other, right? I think the interview we did was good. You know, no fake stuff, no overhyped things because that's not how I am. I just wanted to be to the point and my opinion and how I see things." He also stated that as of right now, it all sounds good, but he will need to see the end product of everything to see how it all turned out. It's kind of funny how he's still refusing to put all of his trust in Netflix and their team. Guess we'll also have to wait and see what the DTS producers come up with, although we don't think they'll be focusing on the championship so much. The real drama is in the midfield, and with Haas, of course. How could we forget Gene and his ever-so-swearing mouth? Following up one more season, at least. Netflix and F1 have announced that there are going to be at least 2 more seasons for DTS. One is coming up, and then one we'll see in 2024. So season 6 is 110% confirmed, and we couldn't be happier. Alongside an F1 movie, we just have so much content to see on the sport now. It really is exciting, although we really do hope that it gets extended even further. Netflix has stated that this series has grown in popularity over time, and it has attracted a massive audience. In fact, the show was top 10 in 56 countries. This has really been good for the popularity of the sport. Liberty Media really seems to know what to do. Oh, and when talking about the 22 and 23 seasons, DTS stated that we're going to see unprecedented access. Now, we don't know exactly how much access we'll get, but we're excited to see. Apparently, we're going to see some never-before-seen footage as well. While this season was a little dull in terms of the championship, Netflix's confidence has given us confidence regarding the future of the show. DTS's influence in the United States has been crucial for the sport. This is a country the sport just failed to crack. At the same time, it's a country that has a lot of money, so that problem has now been solved. Moving on to why the 2 world titles haven't changed Max. Max Verstappen has claimed that losing the 2021 title wouldn't have changed his life. And now that he has 2, he's reiterated that claim. At the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, Max stated he would be happy with whatever outcome was achieved. In fact, even when he won his first title, he stated everything that he wanted to achieve in life he did, so it doesn't matter to him anymore. Yet he drives ruthlessly on the track, so we're glad his wins haven't taken away his edge. In the 2022 season, we did see that his win did change his style just a little bit. He got a little less aggressive, but nonetheless, he still had that dog in him. He still got extremely competitive, especially when it came to wheel-to-wheel racing with Lewis Hamilton. When it comes to the Briton, Max just kind of loses it and starts driving dirty, doesn't he? In fact, while he won the title in 2021, in 2022 he achieved something even greater. He won 5 more races than he did in 21. Yet this is something that just doesn't impress him. He stated that he isn't really bothered about the whole thing. Finishing up, what's going on inside Max's brain? Max talked about how these new cars are really different. He mentioned that it took him some time to get used to the car since they're so heavy and overweight. At the same time, the car didn't balance too well, at least according to the Dutchman himself. He also stated that he's just been enjoying the moment, but that hunger in him has left. We don't think we agree with that though. From what we can see, even this time around, Max was super hungry. Max has also stated that after the first world title, this next one just kind of seems like a bonus to him. He talked about how he still spends time with his family and friends and how he's still living his life how he always did. Nothing's changed according to him. Verstappen finished his comments by stating that he does feel a lot better winning this time around as well, because not winning is worse than winning. Guess we'll have to wait for this season to see how everything turns out. That's a wrap for this video. Do you folks think that winning 2 world titles has changed Max Verstappen? Can we expect to see a more docile Max in 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.